Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for having this important hearing today, and thank you to the witnesses for your testimony. I am a proud fourth-generation farmer from southern Minnesota, honored to be raising the fifth. I tell people that I raise corn, soybeans, and kids. Proud father of 7 kids. I'm a John Deere tractor driving, corn planting, soybean planting farmer from southern Minnesota. And so it's great to have so many real farmers here testifying today. Welcome and thank you for what you do and your commitment to feeding and fueling our country. Director Chin, you in your testimony today, you emphasize the importance of EPA's cooperation with farmers and its regulatory partners. In April of 2023, several organizations with a track record of anti-ag environmental activism submitted a petition to the EPA requesting a moratorium on the building of livestock facilities in Minnesota, in southeast Minnesota specifically, citing elevated nitrate levels. Within 6 months of that petition, EPA inspectors arrived unannounced on the land of family farmers in my district, interrogating them and inspecting their farms over the course of several hours, causing additional uncertainty in the midst of peak harvest season. Hostile, unannounced inspections like this only intensify mistrust of the EPA by farmers and producers. And so my question to you is, how can the EPA better communicate with producers to improve transparency and rebuild trust within farmers of this country?
Well, we had the same problem in Missouri when I became Director of Agriculture, and we worked very closely with our Department of Natural Resources to help them understand that any problem that a farmer has, one, was probably not intentional, and that they want to do what's right, and that nothing that has been done is going to be fixed in a 48-hour notification period. So we worked very closely with our Department of Natural Resources to provide that 48-hour notification process so that the farmer could prepare. Not only are you going to their business, you're going to their home. It's where their children are. It's where their parents are. We need to be respectful of that as regulators. I think education over regulation is always the best answer. The farmers want to do what's right because they want to pass that on to the next generation. And I think if we take a more relaxed approach while we are trying to protect the environment and protect agriculture, we're going to see better results moving forward.
Thank you for that. And I think I read this right in your bio. You're a fifth-generation farmer? Awesome. So as a fifth-generation farmer, I could only then imagine your goal is to absolutely ruin your farm and leave it in a horrible position so the sixth generation never has a chance to farm that?
No, that is not it. We're actually bringing our son back home, who is the sixth generation, and it has been a struggle for him because it's really hard on the beginning farming community to find their place and to be able to add value. And the amount of regulation that is out there is very burdensome, and it's scary for them.
So on that note, so I say this quite often as a fourth generation farmer myself, I will tell anybody that farmers are the best environmentalists that this country has. And if I want this farm that's in my family for 4 generations to make it to the 5th, I will do everything in my being to make sure that I am leaving it better than I found it. So that means taking care of my fertility. That means taking care of my erosion. That means taking care of the way I plant and the way I harvest and the way I use compaction or not compaction. And so could you give me a little bit of a flavor of what you've maybe done on your farm or what you see happen in your state in regards to what are farmers doing to improve their farms without the federal government coming in and telling them how to do it? I don't think we tell that story enough. So if you could share something with us, that'd be great.
Well, absolutely. In the state of Missouri, we have an 8-cent sales tax that goes to parks, soils, and water. And so that's the first step that we take in the state of Missouri to protect our environment and our family farms. We're also implementing conservation practices voluntarily to make sure that we're protecting our land for that next generation. On our farm, we want to make sure our son understands how important it is to protect that environment, but also how important it is to protect our livestock. So we're doing things above and beyond. We have concentrated nutrient management plans so that we're making sure we don't over or under fertilize our soil with the natural resources from our livestock. These are just a few of the conservation practices that our farmers implement voluntarily, and we look to do more as the markets continue to provide us more income to be able to make those improvements to the farm, because we don't want my son to be burdened when he receives that farm. We want him to receive a gift.
I appreciate that. I'm running out of time here, so I just want to close with just again thanking all of you the real farmers on this panel, those that are, giving blood, sweat, and tears to our communities, but also committed to your family and the generational opportunities that you're creating for your kids. I see Gary Werdish here also, who is a Minnesota farmer, and he drives a different colored tractor than me, but we get along pretty good nonetheless. But thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I yield back.